Hi y'all, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira and my channel is all about trying new makeup, talking about new makeup, but also finding new and exciting ways to be inspired by the makeup you already own. If that sounds good to you, I hope you will consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed today's video, hitting the like button. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? No, okay. Today guys, we are talking about my 2022 favorites, my curated 2022 favorites. When it comes to favorites lists, I tend to like things to be a bit smaller, a bit curated. We all have things that we like, but when you say favorites, I feel like it has to be something that immediately comes to you, you know, or the thing that pops out into your head first. That's usually the right choice. And so my list here isn't short, but it isn't super long. Like I don't have like 50 products here. I will say I did do my roundup of all of the makeup I tried in 2022, and that list was far longer than I realized it would be. But my favorites list is actually smaller than I thought it would be. So let's start off with base products. First off, let's talk about the newest, well, it's not the newest because I got a new one, but that's for a upcoming video, so I haven't actually tried that yet. But this is the newest foundation that I've actually used and I've been using regularly, and that is my Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation, and I have it in the shade 330 Medium Cool. I hemmed and hawed about getting this. I had it in my cart. I took it out of my cart. I had the hardest time with the shade range because the shade range is strange. It's not that it's not diverse or inclusive or has a lot of options. It does. It's just that the way that they describe the shades is very off in my opinion. Aside from all of that, this is a banger and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. It is a glowy foundation. If you don't like glow, this is not the foundation for you. I love glow. I don't like dewy. This can make you look dewy, but it doesn't feel dewy on the skin. I found this to be incredibly lightweight. I get so many compliments on my skin when I'm on camera wearing this and in real life when I'm wearing this foundation. It is a beautiful, beautiful foundation, and it's sort of like it snuck up on me because I got this towards the end of the year and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I do, and I immediately knew that I wanted to add this to my favorites list. The next foundation that is on my favorites list is actually one that I haven't reached for in a little bit because I've been wearing the Haus Labs so much, and also because I've been going through all of my foundations in my collection and wearing all of my old foundations and really seeing how I feel about them, because I will be filming my declutter series in January, or it'll be going up in January, throughout January, and I really wanted to sit with each foundation, see how I feel about them, so that I'm not, when I make a decision whether or not to keep it, it's an educated and informed decision based on my wants and needs and aesthetic and tastes at this moment, you know. So today I'm wearing an older foundation. I'm not wearing any of my newer foundations. I'm wearing one that I thought I didn't like anymore, and I've fallen back in love with it. So yeah, outside of that, back to this. This is one that I haven't worn a lot recently, but I wore it pretty much 90% of this year. Basically since I got it, which was in, I think, March of this year. I've been wearing mostly this foundation, and then I got the Haus Labs and I started wearing that. But this is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. This foundation is odd to me because it's one of those foundations that when I wear it, I'm not like wowed when I put it on. I'm like, okay, I put it on, but what wows me is how my skin looks once I've put it on and I've put all my makeup on and I've worn it throughout the day. I'm always amazed at how amazing my skin looks wearing this foundation. But it's not something that when you first apply it, at least for me, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is amazing. That feeling came throughout the day, and also just through wearing it repeatedly, like consistently, and feeling like it always looks amazing on my skin. So yes, this is kind of like, to me, like, it's not a foundation that's like, I'm blown away. Kind of like the Haus Labs, when I applied this, I was kind of blown away when I applied it. This one, I'm like, when I applied it, I'm like, yeah, it's nice. And then I wear it throughout the day and I'm like, oh my God, my skin looks amazing. It's that kind of foundation. So if you're looking for, like, you know, a workhorse, I kind of think of this as like a workhorse foundation, you know. It's not going to wow you out of the gate, but it's going to get you through, the race. You know what I mean? It's going to get you through the race to the finish line. So yeah, this is definitely a 2022 fave. And then in that same vein is something that absolutely wowed, well, I take that back. That's a lie, Amira. This is another Kosas I guess would say complexion product that did not wow me out of the gate. If you guys remember, I had this in my concealer, like when I was doing my declutters, and I had just purchased this and I'd worn it once and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. And I was like, I don't know guys, I'm gonna try it again and see how I need to get some more use out of it. And I got some more use out of it and I'm obsessed. I haven't used it in a while because I've gotten new concealers in that I'm trying out, and I'm trying to get use out of those so that I can, you know, talk about them, and also just getting use out of the newer things so that I can, you know, actually get use out of the things that I spent my money on. There's one thing that I haven't used a lot, but we'll get into that some other time. But this is my boo. This is my second. The one that I talked about where I wasn't sure, that one's empty. That one's gone. That's tossed. It's in the trash. Gone. This is the newer one because I bought a second one because I go through this so much. During the summer, this was basically all I was wearing. I was applying this and buffing it out on my skin. Not everywhere, just in places where I felt like I needed some coverage. And then that was it. And my skin was looking, chef's kiss. This is a great concealer under the eyes, but it's also a great concealer all over. It's very skin-like. It's very creamy. It really did change my taste in concealer. This for me was a game changer in my makeup aesthetic because up until that point, I was very much into full coverage, natural satin or matte concealers. And this one is very creamy. It's very emollient. It looks very natural under the eyes, but it doesn't, and it's not full coverage. I would say it's medium coverage. But I just love the way this looks on my skin. It looks like skin, but it still gives you the coverage that you need. So yes, this is my second one, and this is definitely, and even this one you can kind of, I don't know if you can see on camera, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm almost out of this one too. I go through this so fast, and I don't pan concealers or foundations that often. Like base products don't get panned because I have more than one and I tend to like use all of them. So it's very rare that I'm panning a complexion product. This I have panned, and I'm on my way to panning this one. All right, next up, let's talk about bronzers. So you guys know what my all-time favorite bronzer is, and this year they came out with more shades. And I talked about this in my 2021 favorites, looking back on my 2021 favorites, and I'm talking about it again. It's my NARS bronzing cream. This is the shade Laguna 3, which they released this year. So I had the OG one in 2021, and I wore it all the time. And then this spring, summer, they released an extended shade range, thankfully, and they've made the product permanent, thankfully. And this is amazing. I love it. It's my babe. It's my boo. I'm wearing it right now. Chef's kiss. I've talked about this product ad nauseum, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but of course it's a fave. But another bronzing product that is on my faves list that I haven't used in a couple of weeks, but I've been using like interchangeably with the bronzing cream from NARS, and that is the Liss Beauty or LYS Beauty bronzing stick, and I have the shade Harmony. I love this. It's a more subtle bronzer shade than my Laguna 3. It's probably more in the vein of my, no, not even the original Laguna, because the bronzing cream is so pigmented. This one isn't as pigmented, in my opinion, as the NARS bronzing cream. Some people found this to be really pigmented, and they struggle to apply this. I'm going to give you the tip again, especially because I used it with my bronzing cream. Use a dense brush, guys. A dense brush. This one has an angle. You apply this to the face and then you buff it in. Don't use a fluffy brush. Don't use a big brush. You want to make sure you're concentrating it. And then you don't have to worry about this escaping to other areas of the face. And that's my tip for all bronzing, like cream bronzers. It's just a way to get good control over the product and get it exactly where you want it. But yeah, I love this. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite like bronzers in the entire category, but especially in cream bronzers. I feel like for me this year was the year of the cream blush. I had like maybe one or two cream blushes. I had a couple of the Fenty ones before, and that was like my first dip, my first foray, and then I have like a Melt one, but I didn't have a ton of like cream bronzers, or cream blushes, excuse me. But this year I went all in and I discovered some amazing formulas, and some of these formulas I just discovered recently, but I've been loving them so much that I was like, I discovered them at the end of the year, but they are absolutely 100% faves for me for this year. So first up is the About Face Beauty Cheek Freak Blush in the shade Smash. I bought 2 of these shades, but this is the one that I've been wearing, and I'm so obsessed. I'm so obsessed. This shade is stunning. The formula is stunning. It can be pigmented, but it also can be sheared out. It looks very skin-like. I know some people have said this looks dewy. I would say if you're worried about that, set your face, but I've worn this without setting my face, and not only did it not fade, but I didn't feel like it was tacky on my skin. You know what I mean? So this I'm absolutely obsessed with. I have 2 shades, and I'm so tempted to get another shade. There's another shade that I'm interested in that I might eventually pick up. I'm not right now because I'm like drowning in cream blushes, but eventually I might pick up another shade of this. And then next up is a product that I got during the Sephora sale that they just had recently, and it was the LYS Beauty Cream Blush Trio, and it was a trio of these little blushes here, and this is the shade, I think this is Grateful. Yeah, so this is Grateful, and the name of this product is the Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush. This is the shade that I have been using the most. I'm going to show you this. I dropped this and broke the thing, so... Well, the little piece was broken when I got it, which is annoying, but then I dropped it and that made it worse. So it's broken, but it's still perfectly usable. I'm not mad about it, but this is the shade. And look how stunning, and like, it's just like this muted mauve rose tone that is just perfect for like every day. And much like the About Face, I feel like these don't have to be set. And that's amazing. That's amazing. Because I haven't, with the exception of with the foundation that I'm using right now, for the most part, guys, I haven't been setting my face. And so having cream blushes that I can put on that aren't going to move around, but also aren't going to fade unless I set them, has been amazing. And this is definitely one of them. And this shade in particular has been my go-to when I'm in the mood to use this formula. And finally is the Neo Nude, Giorgio Armani Neo Nude Melting Color Balm in the shade 60. And I believe this is Cool Plum. This is what it looks like. This is the packaging. The packaging is so, I'm obsessed with this packaging. It's just so cool, and it's like angled. And again, the mystery with these is I don't know if they're discontinued, guys. They go in stock, they go out of stock. They usually, sometimes they only have one color in stock for weeks and even months. So I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if it's just that they're hard to like keep in stock and they're hard to restock because of the formula. I don't know. But I know that these were on deep sale on the Giorgio Armani website when I purchased this one, which kind of gave me a clue. But then I'm seeing them in other places, like a couple of shades that are in stock on other websites that they aren't on sale at all. So I don't know what's going on with this. This is a strange, the way that they handle this product is very strange. Having said that, it's freaking fantastic, and I think that's another reason why they're always sold out, is because when people see them, they buy them because they are amazing. Like I said, this is the shade Cool Plum. I think this is Cool Plum. Maybe it's Warm. I don't know. They have a cool one and a warm one, and they kind of look almost the same, but not. It's just like, just a hint. But this is the shade, and I have this in another shade, which is the shade, I believe it's Brick Red. And though I love it on me, for some reason that one doesn't stay on my skin. It fades a little bit, and I think it's because of the tone of it. It kind of blends into the undertone of my skin. But with this one, I haven't had that issue at all. It's lasted a ton, like all day, basically. Again, not setting my face. It's lasted. It blends beautifully. It looks beautiful on the skin. So I think it's just that shade specifically. But that's why I'm so glad I followed my instincts and got another shade, because I loved the formula, and I'm like, I wonder if it's just this shade and my skin tone that it just kind of, it's called Brick Red, but it has very strong orange yellowy undertone, and my undertone is kind of like golden yellow. So I felt like it was kind of just like blending into my skin tone a bit and looking like it was fading, you know? This one doesn't do that. This one is stunning. This one is beautiful. These are the 3 blushes that I have been, and when it comes to cream blushes, these are the 3 that I have been using interchangeably since I purchased them. And the one powder blush that I wanted to include in my 2022 favorites is the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow blush in Faded Clementine. She looks like this. She's stunning. She's like a peachy orange. with shimmer. This is the thing. I love powder blush that has a bit of shimmer to it because it gives the skin such dimension. I'm finding that when it comes to blushes, if it's just a flat matte powder blush, I'm not as interested. I want a little sheen, I want a little shimmer, I want a little glimmer, I want a little glow. So yes, this was my go-to in the summer. I haven't been using this a ton this fall and winter because I've really been all about the cream blushes, like I said. But this one is an exception to the rule, and it is the one that has really sort of captured my heart, and it's really become one of my all-time favorite blushes in my collection. So I absolutely had to mention this one. Yeah, definitely a fave. Let's talk about lipsticks. So I was very like, what do I want to talk about as far as lipsticks go? And first one came to mind was my Merit Signature Shine lipstick in the shade Baby. This is what she looks like. I used this a ton this year, and this is the one that I bought on a whim. I wanted Tiger and Cabo, and I was going between Slip and 1990. I wound up not getting those, which I'm kind of kicking myself about because I would love to get my hands on 1990, and I think I'm probably going to purchase that in the new year. Outside of that, I was like, well, I want to get a shade that I was like, that Baby shade is kind of calling my name. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I'm like, well, just take a chance on an unknown kid, So I threw it in the cart, and I'm so glad I did. Because honestly, guys, I wear this one more than I wear Tiger and Cabo. Seriously, it is the perfect, like, soft pink, but it has like a cool undertone, which I love. It just makes it really unique. You see how it pulls really almost purple on me. And the way that this looks on my lips, it's chef's kiss. And this formula is so stunning. It's so nourishing and emollient on the lips. You can wear it sheer, you can build it up. It's a beautiful formula. And yeah, this was a no-brainer. I immediately reached for this one. Next up is a shade, is a lipstick that I literally just bought. Like, I got this like a few weeks ago, guys, but I'm obsessed, and I have been wearing it nonstop, and I'm like, that has to go on the list because I'm in love. And that is my Pat McGrath Matte Trans Lipstick in Forbidden Love, and this is what she looks like. I'm not wearing her today because I made myself wear a different shade of red. I made myself. This is Lisa Eldridge Velvet Ribbon. Stunning shade, classic shade. I still have eyeshadow on my finger. Ignore that. But this right here, guys, I'm not a red lipstick person, but I've been in a red lipstick mode. Maybe it's because I'm shooting this around the holiday season, and it's winter time, and I tend to like berries and reds. I think we all sort of lean towards those shades, but for me, I usually tend to reach more for the berries than the reds, but for some reason, this winter, I have been all about the red lipstick, and this has been my go-to. It is stunning, and I wore it in a video a couple weeks ago, and people in the comments were losing their minds. Yes, because it's stunning. It's stunning. It's beautiful. If you want an amazing matte red, this is the one. Now let's talk eyeshadow. And first up, let's talk about a single product that I have been obsessed with, that I wear all the time. It has become my go-to. This is the look that I'm wearing today. It's sort of been my go-to winter holiday season look. And it has been all about this product. And that is the About Face Beauty Fractal Eye Paint in the shade Fracture. This is the old packaging. They have recently released it in better packaging, thankfully. I don't know what they were thinking with this packaging. It sucks, but it takes up so much space. I mean, there's only product here, and then you have all of this empty space. Like, I don't understand why we needed all of this. So they've fixed that mistake. But having said that, I am obsessed with this, and it snuck up on me because when I first got this, I purchased it with a bunch of other About Face Beauty items, and I wasn't a huge fan of the eye paints. I want to give them another chance. I kind of want to purchase them in a more neutral tone and see if I like them more. I have them in the brighter shades, and I honestly don't think they're that great in the brighter shades. I think they're probably better than more neutral ones. So I might eventually pick up another shade or two of those in more neutral tones and try them out, because I want to give them another chance, because I've loved pretty much everything else that I've gotten from About Face Beauty. Like, I've been obsessed with the Cheek Freak blushes, the Fractal Eye Paint, the highlighter, which for some reason I didn't grab, but the fact that I'm only remembering it now means it shouldn't be on the list. But I was obsessed with it when I got it, and I wore it all summer. It was one of the Light Lock powders, that come in the compact, and I was obsessed with it for a good, like, I want to say 4 months. And then I stopped kind of wearing a highlighter because I was wearing these really glowy, you know, complexion products. So I kind of abandoned highlighter altogether. But when I was still on that highlighter train, that's what I was wearing. So this has been my go-to. This has been my bae for a very long time. And this product, just like when I wear Forbidden Love, anytime I have this on my eyes, someone is asking me, what's on your eyes? And this is it, 9 times out of 10. I have it on now. If you can see, it's a very wet looking, beautiful formula. You can put it on, make it really pigmented, and then you can tap it out, and it's sparkly, it's beautiful. I love this product. And what I love about it is that it blends really well, because, you know, a lot of times with these type of products, they can set really easily. This sets down, it dries down, but you still have enough time to sort of like manipulate it and blend it out and tap it where you want it to go. So yes, this is a definite fave for 2022. And let's get into eyeshadow palettes. So I tried way more eyeshadow palettes this year than I realized, but only 3 stuck out in my mind immediately, like when I was thinking, like, what do I want to grab? First one that came to mind, and I mean, if you don't know me by now, you will never know me. Of course, guys, of course, this is the Pat McGrath 5-pan eyeshadow palette in Bronze Bliss. She looks like this. This is from her holiday collection. Obsessed. And this is another one where you can do a full look. I think I did like 4 looks with this. I did an initial look, and then I did a video where I did 4 looks with this palette. And the amount, this looks so simple, but it is such a user-friendly palette that you can do really bold looks with, or you can do super, super simple looks. It is stunning. I mean, and she's got new formulations in this. Now I want to put this on my eye. Yeah, she has new formulations. This shade here is a new formula, and it's like butter. It's just, this is a beautiful palette. Hands down, a 2022 fave. Next up is a palette that, again, was one that I didn't know if I was going to like, and then I found myself using it all the time. And when I was thinking about eyeshadow palettes, this did pop into my head, and I was like, you know what? This was sort of a workhorse palette for me this year. This wasn't like I really enjoy using it. I think the formulation is beautiful. It wasn't a palette that I was like, I felt like I was making these amazingly artistic looks with or anything, but it was the palette that I've reached for consistently all the time, you know? And so I was like, I have to choose it. So this is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. This is what she looked like. She's beautiful, basic. She's not like a light up your world kind of girl, except for the shade Peacock. This shade Peacock will light up your world. And this shade, I've done looks where I just put this all over my lid. I've done looks where I've just put this shade all over my lid. And it's one of those, you can do a full look, but like I said, you can reach in and just do one shadow. You can do really quick looks. The formula is really nice. I will say that it's not as powdery as the OG Anastasia formula is. You know, the one where it's just like they're so softly pressed that you could basically hit pan if you just keep, you know. They're not as softly pressed as that, but they're not hard pressed. They still have that creaminess that I personally like in the ABH eyeshadow formula. Next up is a newer addition to my collection, but it's one that I've been like using a ton. Like I've been and I haven't really been using it on camera because it's an older palette, and I don't know if you guys really want to see it. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'm like, I really like it. And it is the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. This is the first Huda palette, with the exception of maybe Mercury Retrograde, as far as her full sizes go, that caught my eye, and I was like, I want that. Now, you guys know that how my feelings about the Mercury Retrograde palette are quite complicated and borderline negative, but I still own it, and I haven't decluttered it. I don't know if I ever will. We'll see. Well, when I sit down to film my declutter series, we'll see if it makes the cut. But this one, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. It's beautiful. It's so basic, but it's basic in the best way, you know, because these are shades that I love. My favorite shade in this is Visionary. Shades are Visionary and Gorgeous. These shades here, obsessed with these shades. They're lovely. And guys, I'm happy to report that unlike the Mercury Retrograde palette where the neutral tones go on the eye and look purple, the neutral tones in this actually look neutral. They don't veer pink. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Because every neutral that I have ever tried from Huda Beauty has always veered pink on me. These actually are true to color in the pan, guys. Bless. Bless. Favorite mascara of 2022. And if you've watched my mascara ranking video, which you should, not a lot of people did, so head on over there, give it some love. It's a good video. I ranked all the mascaras that I tried in 2022. This one was at the top of the list. And I need to repurchase this at some point because it's stunning, and that is the Jinsi Beauty Spectator Sport Mascara. This mascara has won my heart. When I first used it, I was unimpressed. I was like, whatever, it's a basic, boring mascara. Nay, nay, my friends, nay, nay. It is one of those mascaras that you just give it a little time. Give it like a week. You know, you open it up, let the air get in there, let the formula thicken up a bit, get a little body to it. And then this is perfect, fluttery, everyday, blinky, blinky. Not splinky, splinky, clunky, spidery. Blinky, blinky, flirty, feathery lashes. And when you want to be that girl who winks and then her eyelashes are just like so pretty and long and separated and just like perfect princess lashes, that's this mascara. Absolutely stunning. Definitely a fave. We'll be repurchasing. Okay, guys, so that's my list of 2022 faves. I think that was pretty curated. I'm very happy with my list. I'm still on the fence if I'm going to do an eyeshadow palette ranking. I don't know. I know those videos do really well, but I feel like when I pick my faves like this, it's more, and I'm sorry if you hear somebody on a snowblower. We got hit with the blizzard. We got the blizzard here, okay? And the blizzard is blizzarding, and so people are trying to dig themselves out. So sorry if you hear a snowblower in the background. I can't do anything about that. But as I was saying, for me, I prefer to put my favorites in a video like this because it's so much more genuine in the sense of like, what's your absolute fave? Think about it right now. And there are of course other eyeshadow palettes that I purchased this year that I really like and that I enjoy and that I can talk about and tell you all of the positive attributes about. But when I talk about my faves, I really try to keep that list relatively small. So if you enjoyed today's video, guys, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.